Hi, good evening and welcome to this celebration of 50 great years of Queensland Arts Council, providing live and visual arts experiences for the people of regional Queensland. I'm so proud to be an associate artist of the company, along with my fellow colleagues in that unique and special club, Billy Brown AM, Geraldine Turner OAM, Carol Burns, David Poulton and Deborah Mailman. We all have very strong reasons to be grateful for the employment, experience, nurturing and early grounding that was provided by this organisation. And it should not be underestimated by anybody in this room tonight. In less than 2 generations, Australia has joined those English-speaking cultures who had centuries to evolve. We have truly joined the international story, and we contribute to that story with a rich and unique personality. I came into the Arts Council orbit when it was about 10 years old. I just joined the Queensland Theatre Company. I was a university actor. On campus, we'd ripped Brisbane apart with radical interpretations of Peer Gynt and obscure plays by German expressionists. And then I performed a comic satire of the nude sketches that were obligatory in student reviews. I entered in a tie-dyed t-shirt and tie-dyed jeans and said, "This is a student review, you're no doubt expecting a nude scene. Well, here it is." Then I disrobed with stunning rapidity without a hint of humour, and it brought the house down. Alan Edwards, who'd been appointed as the first director of the Queensland Theatre Company, saw this and gave me a job. He must have thought I had a big future in front of me. So after my last BA exam on a Friday, I started work professionally the following Monday. Indulge me for a moment as I take a trip back to humble beginnings, which in fact ended up being the bedrock foundation for all future creativity and opportunities, I think. 1971. It was a great time to be 20. Ah, those halcyon days. Billy McMahon was Prime Minister. We were at war with Vietnam. And Joe was the Premier of Queensland. My first job was leading role, playing an intellectual, dandruff-ridden, anally retentive raven to Billy Brown's wily, street-smart cat, both servants to the witch who locked Rapunzel in the tower. It was daytime theatre for smart children who read a lot. Those audiences are now in their 50s, keeping writers' festivals alive. Happily, no video recording of this production survives. Then I debuted in the serious adult company, playing the innkeeper Brazencourt in Lock Up Your Daughters. I was determined to make a mark. He only had about 6 lines, but he also had a limp, an eye patch, rotting teeth, and a very broad West Country accent. Kind of an early blueprint for Captain Barbossa, funnily enough. And then under an illegal amount of wig and makeup, I played the 60-year-old Vice-Chancellor of a university, and then the parts stopped coming. There was nothing for me in the production. This is where the Queensland Arts Council came to the rescue. Many of my buddies had joined schools tours. This was a well-oiled network. You got living away from home allowance. The City Theatre might have presented the artistic challenges, Raven, Innkeeper, Vice-Chancellor, but the country was where the bucks were. I offered my services as assistant stage manager and joined the travelling troupe of the QTC, heading out west and up into the north of the state, bringing exactly what the population of outback and far-flung Queensland had been crying out for. A production of that long-forgotten, gay, high Victorian farce, The Schoolmistress, written by the prolific and much-adored Arthur Wing Pinero. You'd hear farmers saying things like, "After a hard day's crutching, harrowing and milking, there's nothing I enjoy more than a bit of Arthur Wing Pinero." I had music and sound cues to play at night, and by day, every day, 3 people, myself included, traveled to the next town and set up a heavy industrial-strength steel touring proscenium march and a complete 1890s-style box set with furniture and canvas flats in whatever local memorial hall. But it was fun, and it played up a storm. Audiences everywhere craved stories, shows, entertainments, engagement. And you know, with billets and carefully stashed living away from home payments and several other tours, it gave me the finances a few years later after touring You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown and Godspell, to head without a scholarship to study in Paris. I think it also gave me an invaluable experience of how to ultimately focus on a film set in remote parts of the world many years later. And as an associate artist, I have regularly read of the expansion and gradual development of this council and the crucial and sophisticated engine it became as it headed towards the 21st century. I found the scale and outreach of its activities to be astonishing, and it would be remiss of me tonight not to acknowledge the forthrightness, vision, leadership, and brilliant stubbornness of Arthur Frame in his stewardship as CEO and artistic director. In recent years, Queensland Arts Council has faced many financial challenges due to government funding cuts at all levels. But the arts enrich us. They make us better people. They create better societies, and I believe they are the last things that should be cut. A balanced individual operates from both sides of their brain. Rational thought tempers intuitive dreaming, and vice versa. Imaginative play is rewarded by intertwining with logical thinking. So too a civilized, complex social structure, which is why I can never understand why the current governmental fad globally in times of economic crisis is to just lop arts funding. It's so obviously fundamental to the health of our national psyche. Tonight is also an event which looks forward with optimism to a reinvigorated organisation, one with a different brand, a new name, Artslink Queensland. Not Artslink Queensland, but Artslink Queensland, and before too long, they'll have a different home. However, through all this, the one thing that does not change is the commitment of the volunteers in the regions, the volunteer board and the Cultural Support Fund Committee, and the unwavering and selfless commitment of the Queensland Arts Council staff and the artists it employs. As I said when I accepted the Australian of the Year in Canberra, both sides of government in the past 40-odd years have created film schools, training and funding institutions for many art forms, a structure for a creative nation. But where would we be without the resilience of the passionate arts workers who choose to never, ever give up building an Australia with an industry that could question and express itself? The artists performing for you tonight are doing so without payment because they have been enriched by this organisation. They are here tonight to show you the value of the arts and how they enrich your lives. We need your support. This organisation must be in a position of strength to continue to deliver vibrant programs. Tonight is an opportunity for you to give generously to ensure that this organisation survives. The Arts Council supported me when I was a young artist, and now we are old friends. I know there are a lot of people in the room tonight with enormous goodwill towards the arts and rural communities. And I also know that you share a deep awareness and appreciation of the work that this organisation does. I trust you will give generously tonight and in the future to support the work of our Arts Council. Happy birthday from this sexagenarian to this great Queensland quinquagenarian. Have a great evening, and thank you for your support.
And I would now like to introduce to you Zen Zen Zo Physical Theatre. They are brought to you from Power Arts.